In just a few days, legendary jazz pioneer Eddie Palmieri will perform a special concert in celebration of his 80th birthday. Can you believe it? What better way to celebrate this milestone than with a performance for his legions of fans? And Mr. Palmieri will be performing at the Rose Theater at Jazz at Lincoln Center. The concert will feature more than a dozen vocalists and instrumentalists with a Latin rhythm section, of course, that includes congas, timbales, maracas, to name a few. Here with us this morning, el maestro Eddie Palmieri, here to tell us all about the concert. Welcome back to Tiempo. Hace bastante tiempo. Good to have you back.
Oh, thank you for this Torres. Thank you very much for having me.
Felicidades. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So you're 30.
30. And I got that from Chocolate Mentero, the trumpet player who passed away at 93.
Okay.
He told me that after 50, you must start counting by one again.
Oh, is that how it works?
So I'm 30 with 50 years of experience behind me.
You look fabulous, my friend.
And how old will you feel if you keep self-hypnosing, self-hypnotizing your mind?
Okay.
How old would you feel if you didn't know how old you were?
You know, I don't want to think about the answer to that question.
So they asked me, Eddie Palmieri, how are you? I said, better than ever.
Better than ever. Better than ever. Dígame, this concert that you're going to have across the street at the Rose Theater,
yes.
How will it be different than other concerts that you've had and other performances?
It's my son, Eddie Palmieri II.
Yes.
You know, he prepared something very special. We got all the musicians that have played with me throughout the years, more or less, you know, coming in, and we're going to have an 8-piece orchestra. I mean, horns, 8 horns with the rhythm. Remember, when you talk about the rhythm, which you said, that's the pulse of my life. Okay. Okay? Yep. Rhythm makes you move, rhythm makes you, you know, and we take, I could put you to dance in your seat. You know?
Right
so
here.
It's going to be a wonderful, and the new material that we have, it's going to be a big band, you know, and it's an honor to play there because, first of all, my respect to Wynton Marsalis.
Of course.
That made all that possible, Jazz at Lincoln Center.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did they come to you, or you went to them with the idea of this special concert?
I hang out there every day, see they both.
The guys here so much. Let's just
they call my son.
Yes.
And in advance, it's been booked quite in advance. We've played it before. It's the Rose Theater on the 3rd and 4th.
Okay. A good crowd, right?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. A wonderful musical evening.
We'll put the details up about how to get tickets and how to go. After 50 years, you're at the point now where people like me will start asking you about your legacy. You know, how do you want people to remember Eddie Palmieri? When your name comes up 20, 30 years down the road, what's the first thing you want people to think of?
Well, that has to go to the philosopher Aristotle.
¿Y qué dijo?
He said that a musician or an artist is an inspired madman.
Yeah.
Un loco inspirado.
Does that apply to you?
Of course.
It does, yeah?
Yeah, because the musical mind of all the great composers, for example, you know, which paid dearly for their lives, you know, we wouldn't have to go into details, naturally, but it's my life, you know, and to be able to play more and more and to present it more and more, because I'm becoming now a teacher that I teach at Rutgers University, and I could work with the youth, and seeing the young talents develop, it's rewarding to my heart and soul. Is it also inspiring to you? Of course. My brother Charlie Palmieri was one of the greatest teachers and my mentor.
Yes, of course. But to see young kids performing, does it make you want to get back out there to perform as well?
I have one of them in particular that plays better than me. You know?
Wow, that's too good. So with all that in mind, are you still creating?
Oh, every day more and more.
¿Verdad?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm running out of semitones. In music.
Yes, semitones.
Because
okay.
I'm moving in another direction, and as a matter of fact, Conrad Erwick, who is the director of the jazz program and played with me for 30 years, told the class the other day, last Monday, you see, when you get to a certain age, you would think, like Mr. Palmieri, you know, Professor Palmieri, that everything would be mellow and maybe some, you know, like lullabies.
Yeah.
Mr. Palmieri is creating more incredible music, more complex than ever. So he's Alzheimer's.
Okay. Yeah. He's holding off Alzheimer's for sure.
Push it aside because it's just that I have an important task to do, and by taking care of myself, you know, because all my pioneers have passed away. My brother died at 60 years young. Yeah. And I miss him very dearly because he was my complete inspiration.
Is Latin jazz changing? And if so, what are those changes?
Oh, the changes are all in Sabiduria. My new CD. It's the greatest Latin jazz CD ever recorded.
Yep. Is it out in stores now?
And I found out that I could say that because through a gentleman called Pascal, one of the philosophers, humility is a sign of weakness. So, and at my age, yes, 30, right, I think I've earned the right to say that.
I think our president took that same lesson for sure. Well, sit tight. I want to ask you some more questions about the concert itself, about that new album that you have coming out, and then we'll tell people at home where to get tickets. Sit tight. More with jazz maestro Eddie Palmieri cuando regresemos. Welcome back to Tiempo. Legendary jazz maestro Eddie Palmieri will be performing at the Rose Theater at Jazz at Lincoln Center to celebrate his 80th birthday. He's here telling us all about it. But you also have a new album that if you go to the concert, you can get the album before anybody else because it's released.
I mean, you get it online, and then it comes out in April.
In April, full release.
Yes.
Who's on the album, and what makes it so rocking?
Well, it's different artists. We have Alfredo de la Fe on violin, for example. Donald Harrison from New Orleans that recorded with me. We have Mr. Ronnie Cuba that recorded with me, Hollow River Drive.
How's it different than other music you've done?
Oh, because it's the different artists that my son brought in. My son produced this album, and I did the music. He came, when I was living in Vegas, he came and gave me this assignment. And that's how it started, but it became coming out so great. We have a gentleman called Luis Quintero, that from Venezuela, percussion. We have the greatest percussionists and the greatest, you know, Bernard Purdy, Marcus Miller that did for Miles Davis playing, a gentleman called Dave Spinoza on guitar.
Pero es salsa.
It's a combination of Latin jazz, which is always danceable. I always keep the structures danceable. But there's one called Sabiduria, which turns into like a rock. And that's something to listen to, quite extraordinary.
Tell me how you came up with the name of the album. This is a great story.
Well, because it came up to Wisdom, you know, and that's my wife, when she was alive, that she told me, listen, why don't you call it also Sabiduria in Spanish? I said, oh, so it's going to be called Wisdom, and then you have Sabiduria on the side there. And my other daughter, Edie, did the shot that she took at Lehman College. And we're going to use that as the cover. So it stays like within the family, like, you know.
That's wonderful. What a nice tribute to your wife.
Yeah.
And after 50 years, you've accumulated some wisdom, I would say. Don't you think?
Don't be too sure about that.
don't place any bets on that.
Don't place any bets.
When you're at school, at Rutgers, at the head of the class, and you're teaching some of your kids, what advice do you give them, particularly the composers, as they want to embark on a career in Latin jazz?
There's only one word: preparation.
Preparation.
And I learned that from a gentleman called Von Braun, who was the German scientist of the V2 rockets, and that in World War II, we got him before the Russians got him. We brought him here. And he also helped towards the atomic bomb. And it came to the word luck. And when he said luck, he said, well, what I consider luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And they'll say, wow, wasn't he lucky? No, he wasn't lucky. No, he was prepared.
And he seized it.
And I tell it to the students, the more preparation you have, if you're thinking of getting into music, it's beautiful and that, but it's very hard to be traveling all over the world with a suitcase and your instrument. And the better you are, you know, the more prepared you are.
Well, that's what I want to get at. Prepared en qué manera?
But to learn, if you're going to play music, you're certainly going to, you have to prepare yourself in music. You know, and then practice as much and be so good that you cannot be ignored. I got that from a quote that the gentleman with the comedian that plays banjo.
Steve Martin? No, Steve Martin said that.
Steve Martin wrote a quote, and my wife and I cut it off for me. Be so good that you cannot be ignored in whatever you do. And there's the word called arete in Greek philosophy.
Yes.
Arete means, which I recorded on, called arete. Whatever you do it as best as you can.
Yeah. Yep.
See?
No matter what you're doing in life. Yeah. See, there's wisdom. That's the wisdom I'm talking about. We got about a minute left. I want to quickly put up on the screen so people are sure they have the information to get to this concert. Take a look. It's the March 3rd and March 4th. Rose Theater, Jazz at Lincoln Center, Broadway and 60th Street. The shows get underway at 8 o'clock. For more information, you can go to that website there, jazz.org. I can tell you this, the tickets start at about $35 each. It'll be the best money that you've invested in 2017, because to see Eddie play is really to see a master musician at work. Felicidades.
Thank you so very much.
Happy birthday.
And I wish you the very best.
Thank you very much. And you're always welcome here.
Thank you.
So new album, lo que sea. You want to come back and see us on Tiempo? You come on.
When Sabiduría comes out, we'll talk about that.
Okay, we'll be here.
Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias to you at home. We thank you so much for spending part of your Sunday with us. Remember, if you missed any part of our show, technology, you can catch up at ABC7NY on your web, on your tableta, on your smartphone. If you're on the train, wherever you might be, you can call it up there and catch up on all that you missed. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time on Tiempo.